Hi guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be tying the Steelhead streamer, the pink siren. Now this is a combination spay pattern and streamer. You can use it for trout, but it's actually excellent in the springtime for steelhead. You can tie this in different sizes. We will be starting with a number 6 salmon hook and some UTC, I believe 70 red, and we'll just tie that in just a couple eyes back. Now, to a certain degree, it is a pretty simple pattern. The body will be floss, and just the rear actually, and the front will be a little bit of dubbing. Now you do want to make sure that your thread is laying flat because of the floss body, but we will be tying in some French tinsel to take care of the eye offset that is folded back. So we're going to wrap that thread right about, say, about 2 turns past the hook eye. And the tail will be some purple guinea. So you want to get a little bit of a clump there. And just strip off the barbs. And if you can't, just cut them. And you want that about a hook shank in length. And we're just going to tie that in at the back here. There we go. Wrap that forward. Now we will be putting a pink uni yarn as a butt just in front of this tail. It is a little bit of a hot spot. It isn't too bright of a pink, but it actually anchors the hackle that we're gonna wrap in there in front of this. So we'll secure that in. And we will be going over itself again. Just like that, and secure that down. Just trim off the tag here and the excess. Okay, and we'll wrap that forward there. Occasionally use some tying wax in there. Really can control the thread. So we're going to be using some strung rooster saddle in a pink, and we're going to be tying that in at the back. So you basically want to strip off all that marabou hackles at the bottom, soft stuff, and then just kind of strip it back, and you know, the length that you want to use, which is going to be, you don't want the stiff hackle up here. You want to use the softer hackle at the bottom. Okay, and we will be tying this in from the tip, as you can see. And the reason for that is it does seem to just give it that nice dome effect going back. Okay. So I'm just preparing that to tie in there. And we're going to tie that in, lock it in. Okay, grab some hackle pliers here. And just kind of wet your fingers there. Kind of just get those barbs going back. Hackle going back. Okay. I'm not going to do too many turns of this. Just about 2 there. Kind of wind your thread through there so you try not to capture too many of the barbels. Clip that off. Just kind of wet your finger there and secure it in. Okay, looks good. A little check back. Now we're going to wrap forward. And this is where we tie in our French tinsel, but as you can see at the back here, we have a little raised bump there from the hackle stem. It was a little thick. So we're just going to use our thread and build up to match that. Okay. This may take a while here. Bear with me. And that looks good. So we're going to wind back forward. And we're going to take some small Vivas French tinsel. Okay. And that's what we're going to rib our body with. Just the floss body, not the dubbing. Okay. Now, as I rotate this, we're just going to tie it in as where the eye bend is, so we can kind of have the same type of body there. Okay. And you want to keep it pretty well on the side of the hook shank. And just wrap that back there, lock it in. Now we're going to wrap that forward. And actually, I just realized that the body will not be floss, but it's actually going to be this copper and blue uni mylar, number 12. Okay, one side is copper and the other side is blue. We're using the blue side. So I'm just going to kind of piece off there. Make sure you have a long enough piece that you've cut off, because we're going to be going over itself again. So you want to make sure that whatever color you want is actually facing away from you when you tie it in. Okay, so we're just going to tie it in the front. And here we go. I'm just going to bend that this way. That way we have the blue. Now I know a lot of you have a hard time wrapping tinsel bodies. And basically, the secret is just having a large amount of tension consistently as you wrap. You almost feel like you're going to break it, and sometimes actually you do, but don't worry about that. You can always start over on this one. Nice and tight wraps. Make sure you get it right there. Now we'll go back forward, making sure it's nice and tight. Now you can swing this pattern, strip it, and dead drift it. I find the best is just a swing under a log. Seems to be the right amount of action that you need. We'll just tie that off there. We are going to go back a bit on that tinsel, just because we are the front body. We are using some black diamond dub. Okay. So now grab your French tinsel, and we're just going to do some nice uniform wraps. Okay. And the great thing about this, what I love about this tinsel wrap, is you get some of that other color on the other side showing through, and it does look really good. Okay, we'll just tie that in there, secure that down. And again, always take your time with this, enjoy the tie. Okay, so now we're going to wrap back on itself, probably to about the last rib. Okay, and this is where we're going to bring in some black dubbing, has some sparkle in it, has some sparkly green in this one. So a little bit at a time, you might just need one little shot there. We're going to wrap that there, one more. Okay, perfect. Sometimes you got some stragglers there, you just want to trim off. Okay. And now we're going to palmer some hackle back again, and just like we did at the back here, we are going to do it at the front. Okay. So again, get rid of that soft marabou type of hackle. Just get it out of the way. Okay. And then just kind of pull it down and see where you want those soft hackles to start. Right about there. And you just want to cut a little diamond area to tie in. Make sure it's nice and tight. This stuff is very slippery on here. So again, with your fingers, kind of pull all the hackle back. And sometimes if you have too thick of a stem, it is a little bit of a pain. But just give it some time. Take your time with it. And again, two turns should be sufficient. Wiggle your thread through to secure that. And don't worry about trapping any of these down there. We can always clip those off. Okay. And get your scissors in there, your fine point scissors, and just clip it off. There we go. More wraps to secure that in. Kind of pull back. Again, quite a simple pattern, but very effective. Okay, and the last part, we'll do the same thing, same technique, but we are going to be using some purple saddle. And what you want to do is grab a good piece again that has some long stems on it. Sorry, some long hackles, barbels. Okay, and same technique. You want to kind of get rid of all that soft marabou type of hackles. Brushing it down, seeing where you want to go. The problem with doing this and getting these larger, longer hackle barbels is you get to the thicker stem, so you got to be careful on that. Thicker stem seems to kind of slide out once you tie it in, so you got to be very careful with that. Okay, and I'm going to tie that in. Nice and tight. Okay, and again, use your hackle pliers. You can use your fingers if you want, your hands, but again, just get a little bit of wetness on it. Sometimes, oops. There we go. And as you can see, that popped out. That's exactly what I mean. When you start playing with it too much, sometimes it just does not come out properly. So we're going to tie that back in there. It actually just slipped out. It didn't break where I have it tied in. So we're going to tie that in again. extra wraps this time. And hopefully it doesn't slip out again. We'll do 1, pushing those barbs back, and 2. Okay, now this is where you want to kind of wiggle your thread through to capture that, lock it down. Don't worry if you got a lot more hanging out as far as some loose barbs there. We'll cut them off. There we go. Nice secure wraps in there. Now you can also tie this with some jungle cock, give it some eyes, which is really good. But I know I find this pattern pretty simple the way it is, and it seems to work really good. Okay, so now we're just gonna, you can give it a little bit of a larger head if you'd like, or keep it small. And we'll just get our whip finish here. Secure that in there. I just do about anywhere from 2 to 3 turns, and the reason I do that is because we are putting a UV resin on it. Okay, now we are using some UV clear Loon in the flow, and I like to put this, because the head is so small, use your bobkin on that. Just put a little bit on your bobkin, and it's a lot easier to control. Okay, just got to get it started here. Okay. Just put a little bit on there. Okay, and we're just going to turn this around, add some more. Take your time with this. You don't have to rush this part. And then we'll hit it with the UV light. I use an intermittent light. Seems to cure the resin a lot better, and it doesn't take too long. Okay, and pretty well it's done. If you wanted to give her a more shinier looking head, then we'll put a second coat on there. And if you get some in the eye, don't worry. You can. I'll show you how to get rid of any of that resin that's gone into the eye, if you get any. Okay. Hit it again with the light. That's good. So if you did get any into the eye before you hit it with the light, just your scrap hackle tips that you have, you just stick it through the eye and kind of get rid of all that resin in there. So there you have it. There's the pink siren. Change up the colors if you like, but the pink and the purple with the blue seem to work amazing. And I hope you enjoyed that. Tie this up as soon as season opens for the steelhead. This will work awesome. Smaller sizes work for trout, rainbows, and browns in your local creeks and streams. And again, hope you enjoyed that. And this will be about the last video we do on the steelhead patterns for now. The videos that are going to be coming up, we are going to be concentrating more on the wet flies and nymphs. that work great around the small creeks. That is what I specialize in, is the wet fly fishing, the soft tackles and whatnot. So the upcoming videos will be on those, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. We'll see you later.